On today's episode, we're going to go out right outside my studio to South Texas, a place along the Mexican border, a place that's often thrust into international politics, a place that is as culturally diverse as anywhere else. It may seem like worlds away from Chicago, Los Angeles, and New York, and Washington. Hell, it may seem a universe away from Austin. Rural America is a different place no matter where you go. The values are different, the belief systems are different, the way of life is different. In this video, we're going to talk about those differences, and we're going to talk about how America is a rural country, not urban. South Texas. This is a place where the days start early and they often end late, where people rise before dawn to work the land, care for the livestock, and nurture communities that feel as rooted in tradition as the land itself. Life here may seem unique, shaped by the arid landscape and the Mexican cultural influence, alongside the ranching traditions. But look closer and you'll see that the values and rhythms in South Texas aren't so different from other parts of rural America. Across the United States, in places like rural Colorado, Illinois, and the Mountain West, people embrace lifestyles that are similarly tied to the land, the tradition, and hard work. While these regions differ in landscape and local culture, the people share a common bond, a resilience that's hard to explain to outsiders, but is easy to recognize in each other. South Texas life revolves around a unique blend of influences and landscapes. The proximity to Mexico brings a bilingual and bicultural flavor that shapes everything here, from the food and language to the strong sense of family and faith. The landscape, too, is very distinct: flat plains, dusty scrubland, and a climate that requires a hardiness in people and crops alike. If we look to rural Illinois, we find a different world of rolling plains that are rich, fertile soil. They plant corn and soybean. It stretches as far as the eye can see. Unlike the ranch-heavy economy of South Texas, Illinois agriculture centers on crops, and the region's temperate seasons are far gentler. However, the similarities run deep. Small-town pride, a strong work ethic, and a bond among neighbors, it remains constant. Here, like in South Texas, people's identities are tied to their communities and the work that they do. Then over in Colorado, we find another variation. The state's eastern plains share some of South Texas's ruggedness, while the western region is home to the Rockies, where life blends with rural ranching and an influx of tourism. This creates a different economic mix, one where ranching traditions intersect with mountain sports, and the lifestyle is an interesting combination of solitude and seasonal visitors. But travel further into the Mountain West, a region where resilience is often tested by high altitudes and very harsh winters. Here, the isolation is even more intense. In the communities, they're often many miles from the nearest large city, and they develop a sense of self-sufficiency, not unlike South Texas. In all of these areas, the demands of living off the land instill a similar mindset, one rooted in hard work, perseverance, and a resilience on community. But there's a growing divide between places like South Texas and America's other major centers. Cities like Houston, Chicago, Denver, and Salt Lake City, they're experiencing rapid growth, attracting businesses, technology, and new residents. This urban boom brings wealth and diversity, but it also shifts perspectives and priorities. Meanwhile, rural areas tend to evolve at a little bit different of a pace. They're focused more on stability and community. In rural regions, life is more interwoven with nature and self-sufficiency. Neighbors rely on each other, both for practical help and for social bonds. For those in rural South Texas, urban life can seem fast-paced, almost alien, with concerns that feel distant from their own day-to-day challenges. Many rural communities are grappling with economic strain like fluctuating crop prices and unpredictable weather, and they may feel overlooked by the agendas and interests that are driving urban America. Urban centers, in turn, are shaped by different sets of pressure. With growing populations, cities face rising housing costs, environmental concerns, and the need for infrastructure to support rapid growth. Cities value diversity and innovation, often driven by a cosmopolitan culture of new ideas, diverse backgrounds, and ambitious economic development. This brings rapid change, something that rural communities, especially those rooted in long-standing traditions, may view with some skepticism. The different experiences of rural and urban life lead to different mindsets. Rural America tends to value self-sufficiency and independence. Living on open spaces with fewer nearby services, people often become problem solvers by necessity. Neighbors are close-knit, sometimes more like family than just mere acquaintances, and there's a strong emphasis on helping one another in times of need. Community here isn't just a choice, it's essential. Urban life, on the other hand, leans more towards collaboration and specialization. With hospitals, schools, and countless services nearby, city dwellers have access to extensive resources. In a place of close-knit neighborhoods, and cities often build networks built around work, education, and shared interest, creating a broader, but often less personal sense of community. Here, individuality is often emphasized, with people's identity shaped by the diversity and fast pace of their surroundings. While rural resilience provides great strength, it can also create isolation. Smaller communities may lack job opportunities, specialized healthcare, and even educational resources. This pushes young people to leave for the city in search of greater prospects. City dwellers, meanwhile, have access to all of these services, but they can also feel a different type of isolation, one brought on by anonymity, high cost, and the sheer scale of urban life. Each lifestyle offers its own set of advantages and disadvantages. In rural areas, families often enjoy more space, freedom, and a slower pace that fosters a deeper connection of nature and the community. Many rural communities take pride in being grounded in tradition, where families live in the same area for generations. This preserves the history and the sense of continuity. In cities, people find convenience and opportunity. Hospitals, schools, and entertainment, they're all nearby. Career prospects are much more diverse. The social scene is vibrant, full of cultural opportunities that foster a sense of shared experience and exposure to new ideas. Yet the challenges, they can feel stark. For rural America, economic opportunities are very limited, and access to essential services can be a real struggle. Small towns also face the loss of young people to cities, creating a cycle of depopulation and fewer opportunities. Urban life, however, has its own pressures. High costs of living, stress, and the fast-paced change that can sometimes feel overwhelming, especially for those accustomed to slower, more grounded life. Despite these differences, the divide between rural America and urban America isn't just one of geography. It's a different experience. It's a different set of values and perspectives shaped by the environment. But fundamentally, rural and urban Americans are part of the same story, united by a shared desire to build lives worth living. Whether that's in the wide open spaces of places like South Texas or the skyscrapers of Denver. This gap may not close overnight, but finding common ground and understanding each other's lives and appreciating what each way of life offers can bring us closer. The strength of America lies in its diversity of landscapes and traditions of its people. These differences aren't something to overcome, they're something to celebrate. From small town traditions to big city dreams, America is a vast and varied yet very different place altogether. By recognizing the value in each other's experiences, perhaps we can bridge the divide and find unity in our diversity. I'm journalist Matt Pierce. Thank you for joining me. If you've liked this video, please subscribe, comment, and share.